side of a building. Or just crucify
season.
Do it on
somebody.
the side of Daily Tower. That'll release
Next
that
season.
idea.
Yeah, next season. Remember, the squirrel doesn't like
That's what you
vampires.
guys are all going to do to Morgan next session.
No.
Hello.
No. Silently takes notes about staking him to the side of Daily Tower.
Make sure it's the
Sadly,
east
he has
side
an
so
idea.
you can see the sunrise.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, I don't want to prolong that shit. If he looks up, it'll be the sun. Like at 12 o'clock, it'll just be like, well,
Woo.
We're literally.
there's a lot. To
Inhale,
freaking unpack.
exhale. Inhale, exhale.
There's a lot to unpack. Like, it feels like we just got back from a week-long vacation to like the Bahamas or some country where there's drug mules that are just gonna slide things into your bag for other people to pick up when you get back when you get picked up by DHS. Like, it was a good time, but there's gonna be repercussions.
Going to be. We started with repercussions.
Well,
Also fair.
that's what happens when you just let a ripple become a wave. Like, it comes crashing down on you. What was the opening scene? Do we remember?
The opening
Olivia's
scene was the
panic.
bleeding out Kiasid.
Yeah. She was
Well,
like,
pre
yeah.
Kiasid.
We should probably start with Nutsy.
Yeah,
Pre-Kiasid.
here we go.
Mm.
So the first thing we do is Olivia opens her door and there's a dying pixie on my porch. Blah, blah, blah. By the way, Olivia panicking was not planned. That just happened.
Fair.
So she brought me a message that the hunters of the First Light were hunting everything. Like, everything. Which is information that completely slipped as soon as I realized the fairy was dying. And texted Gabe to come help.
Burp me.
And Gabe reluctantly did. He took his sweet, sweet time.
He pulled a William.
Yes, he did pull one. He slowed down for once in his life.
Well, I also called later. Yeah, that's right, because I forgot to call while I was still dealing with somebody dying. Put pressure on the wound and waited for Gabe.
Yeah, Gabe showed up and was like, well, I'll do what I can, but don't look good.
Yeah. And then Alexandrov comes down and he's like, yeah, that's about what you looked like. Not helping. Not helping.
No. Came down shirtless.
Well,
Yeah,
hello,
Right.
Thor.
It's
How
you
are you
have
today?
to mention that. You have to.
Right.
Junie, why don't you go ahead and describe this shirtless man the way that you described him yesterday? Yeah, I did. Mm.
I thought he didn't have pants initially.
No, he had pants.
Oh, he didn't have the shirt because he had to go up for the poverty flannel that barely
Yes,
covered his chest.
right.
Oh, I cannot button this. It's unfortunate. Oui, baguette.
Gabe was like, "Oh yeah, there's somebody bleeding out on the floor."
But also,
Right? Probably not.
Stake
Don't-
people for less.
Don't look at me like that.
Oh, I'm not looking at you. I'm looking at the storyteller. I've staked people for less. Bring it.
So in the end, the puka dies on my floor.
It
And it takes forever for me to go, okay, look, I need to know that you actually want to not die.
because
and eventually got
consent's a thing you
something-
actually take seriously.
Yeah, eventually got something remotely existing consent and
Hang
turned
on,
the
hey.
puka.
We actually need to go over the consent that you got too,
Yes.
because that was amazing.
That was
Oh my
quite great.
God.
Junie, would you like to rehash that as well? That was,
was
quite
not
a moment.
technically consent.
Okay, why not?
I believe it was something to the effect of the sire grabbed her face and was like, "Yes, turn me, it's fine."
Oh, that was the first consent. That was just consent.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
no,
No, then he got up
helping.
next to her ear and was just like, "Whisper, whisper sweet nothings. Sorry. I forgot. Don't tase me, Smalls.
I'm assuming it
He's
was
already
something to
gonna
the effect
say-
of. I assume it was something to the effect of "Say yes and I'll end your pain," or something like that.
Yes, and I'll give you
Promise it.
$5.
Right?
Oh, Sparkles. That explains her comments. Okay.
Yep.
It's like the scene at the end of Lost in Translation, like when Bill Murray and Scarlett Johansson are freaking like hugging and he whispers something to her and nobody knows what the fuck it is.
Shit. They didn't hear anything I said.
Oh
Fuck.
my god. Now you get to start over.
Ugh,
Well, welcome to
Jesus
The Last
Christ.
Breath, where we did the same shit that we did yesterday. I'm sorry, take a breath. Part 2. Flip the table, kick the dog.
That
stake
they
the
all
vampire.
heard you,
I'm out.
They all heard you. That's all that matters. I don't matter in this stage of the game. This is fine.
No. You've had to describe 2 things now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so let's rehash those.
Very important thing.
Oh, I want to be living again.
See, he does it
My
really
God.
good.
I mean, that's exactly what he did do.
Eat me, Seymour.
Not helping.
Okay, I was supposed to describe the sire, where he was ripped jeans, complete and utter chiseled body exposed. I mean, and long wavy blonde hair. And he was just a Fabio wannabe. This is fine. He's a gangrel and Russian.
Furs with the furs.
And I did confirm that he was a chess player. So while Gabe's drooling, if Gabe ever does want to have a better chess player, I mean, Fabio Wannabe would just be going, "Is your move, huh?" And Gabe's just like, "Sure, whatever."
Oh yes, I know.
so-
I'm thinking. Hold on.
So because Junie hasn't yet,
I'm just happy that William got away with calling people queens and referring to Olivia as a rook. Like, that was a little,
That was pretty nice. Too.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll get to that.
Yeah, that's like 35 minutes from now.
Not wrong.
I mean, Olivia basically assumes she could have much worse positions where William's concerned. She's good with the rook idea.
Yeah, rook's
Fair.
useful because, you can use it to protect your king.
rook
Oh.
or bishop, either one.
So
would
that's
work.
where the Jester King comes from.
No, King's Castle. Or Queen's Castle if he needs you to protect Gabe, which is going to probably happen. But we're getting off topic.
Oh my god.
We were on topic?
Sort of,
Yes,
maybe.
until
So
we
she
realized
bit
that
to
they
break
can
the
hear you.
skin.
Yeah. Turned the key acid, and then Alexandrov's like, maybe, pull your arm away.
Yeah.
We spend how long feeding a key acid while I call William and Amelia
How many
and
blood bonds does it have now?
No, just the
Yes.
one.
Because I
No,
thought that Alexandrov also fed and somebody
a
else
bag.
also fed it.
From my
Oh,
bag.
okay.
Yeah.
I was under the assumption that it was direct, and that was his power play. Is like, well, now I have a baby Kia Sid.
No, he went to
I'm
the
the Godfather.
No, he went to the kitchen. He then made a cup of blood for Gabe. He got two blood bags, one for
Melody.
Olivia and then one for Melody. And so
Gotcha.
he kind of like walked past, gave his hot blood, and then walked
blood.
over and fed the Kia said while giving Olivia a thing of blood so she could like recuperate.
I'm glad we discussed that because I misunderstood entirely. I thought he was just like, well, I have a blood bond too. Hey.
But no, the blood bond that Olivia and Melody have is stronger than the blood bond that Alexandrov and Melody could ever have. So
Yeah. No, that's fair.
So yeah, Olivia made some panicked phone calls.
yeah.
panic
Yeah.
in the living room.
Very panicked.
Gabe
I
went
was
to go
panicking from the
touch
get-go.
the ground and play with the spirits.
Yeah, you did
Okay.
spirit
Something
touch.
profound.
Yeah.
William was sauntering. He waited for a phone call because he really didn't want to deal with that bullshit. I remember that feeling.
But we learned something from Melody about the hunters and the first light being a thing.
Yeah, they were.
And
they were.
and while we were learning that, somebody else was learning some similar information.
oh my god.
Yeah, so Morgan wakes up checks on his stuff, gets sees an intel report from his people going, oh, by the way, there are hunters around. And then there's this moment where Morgan stops and he goes, okay, so Gabe's done a lot for me recently, but he's kind of stressed. So I shouldn't just call him, even though that's kind of the first reflex. I should call that Olivia chick because I think she handles all the intel for William. And then I should call that Amelia chick because she's the Reaper. So those are the two people who need to know. And I can short circuit this whole thing where I usually dump stuff on Gabe's lap and it's that much extra work for him. So I'll do that. I'm going to be a nice guy.
Mistakes
And how
were
did that?
made.
What did that get you with? Let's specifically with Olivia's phone call.
So I call
William,
Olivia.
where the hell are you?
Yeah. She goes, William, where the hell are you? And then goes, oh, it's you.
Still panicking.
And so Morgan's just kind of going like, oh, okay, well, going to fuck myself now. Never mind. Let's try and be professional.
Because fucking ourselves should always be an option.
Be a coward.
Boy.
Come over here and fuck me yourself.
And hey, Intel lady, I just found out this thing that is a threat to, all of the people here, that, William's organization government thing will probably want to know about and make sure it gets handled because, ruling a barony with no plebes to, rule over kind of sucks.
True.
Fair.
So like farmers have cows, barons have people,
That was not how that phone call went.
Guys, we're all close. Moo.
Le moo face.
Well, no, but that's what he's thinking, right? And so he goes, "Hey, we've got this thing with these hunters," and then Olivia's like, "Oh yeah, I know."
Just like matter of factly.
It was like two slights within like 5 seconds. It was pretty great.
And so then Morgan's just like, "Okay, you sound stressed, but you know what? Have a nice night." Click. Calls Amelia.
Who's standing next to me?
And Amelia's going, and then I'm like, hey, Amelia, we've got this thing going on.
And Amelia's like, oh yeah, I know.
Slight number 3.
And then Morgan's like, well, what should I do? And Amelia's like, well, either just try and stay out of their way or murder them all.
Discreetly murder. No, Amelia
I'm sorry,
said
yes,
discreetly murder.
Discreetly murder. Yes, she did say discreetly. And then later on, I did say covertly.
Detected.
Which is different than discreetly.
Look, sticks and stones, all right?
Yeah, they're synonymous. Like, shut up and
Yeah.
They're really not.
Hang on, let me pull up a thesaurus.
Oh,
Right?
sweet
Here we
Jesus.
go. Here we go.
You're just dealing with another word.
Arguing
the
the
problem.
semantics.
I mean, covert means from the shadows.
I mean, we're not
Discreetly
petty
means
with words.
from the
No.
shadows.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah.
Oh,
Like, they
I
have the
just see
same
them
core
differently.
definition.
I see them differently.
Well, that's a matter of upbringing. Yours was wrong.
My mother's in chat.
Oh, hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom, you were wrong. I just thought you should know.
Jesus.
Okay, for the record, we do not believe that. You did a wonderful job. We love nerds.
Comments
Oh,
made
Nerdy's
during
awesome. She's
during
just
this
wrong
review.
in this one time.
Mama, my
yeah.
upbringing was wrong. Do you have anything to say about this?
The best part is. that
What do
she
you
actually
mean your
has it
upbringing's
muted.
wrong, darling?
Man, people's moms are
Oh.
scarier than any other like
Mama,
pissed
please
off
defend
vampire.
yourself. Junie's butchering your accent again.
Well, I am a northerner.
Ow.
Well, while we wait on that train wreck to come into the station,
Yeah.
what
so
else happened?
Morgan just hangs up and makes some phone calls.
And then
Well, let's see. Morgan makes some phone calls. And what does Morgan do on these phone calls? Because that's important.
Morgan rolls a flat 8 with his social skills to try and arrange for an airstrike. He's thinking he's arranging for a covert secret thing, but the mages come back and go, this is really a big problem. If we want to be sure, we really should nuke it. And Morgan's like, okay, if that's what we need to do to make sure this is handled, the authorities did just tell me to handle it. Fuck. All right, so I'm going to start warning people. I'm going to do better than Frank did. Frank just took off when there was a potential apocalypse going and didn't tell people where he was going to go, So I'm actually going to let people know where a safe place they can go is, that the apocalypse is coming, where it's coming, when it's coming, etc.
All I hear is whine, 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 bitch, bitch, bitch. Pull the steak out of me before I eat you.
That was later.
I mean, this wasn't that's fair.
It was.
No, well, here's the thing.
Kidding aside, he gets told, handle this, try to be discreet, and then his people come back with this literally nuclear option, saying, "Hey, we think this is the best one." So he rolls with it.
And then he calls Amelia back.
Yeah. No, it was he texts the group text to get Daily Tower. And Amelia goes, "Why are we going closer to the problem?"
Right?
And he goes, "Well, you're going to get out of the blast radius."
And so all Amelia tells to everybody else is
all it was
tell
Amelia
us
going,
anything. She
"What
yelled.
do you mean blast radius?"
and we're like, excuse
Get the
me.
car.
what?"
And
Get
Morgan's
the car.
like, "Fine, this is fine. It's gonna look like an accident. This is fine. It won't be a masquerade breach because it'll be an accident."
Mhm.
Question: is there a nuclear power plant in Chicago?
I don't think there is.
Not in Chicago, no.
Okay, so you can't use a nuke. So strike one.
Actually, fun fact, and many people don't know this, is Joliet is a ground zero, and it has been since Cold War. I grew up and was raised in Joliet, so
No,
we
Mama,
were promised.
work expenses does not count. No, does not work expenses.
Oh, not
A
this
nuke
again.
does not count towards work expenses.
Anyway,
Brief sidebar though. So Junie, it's pronounced goober.
Goober.
Oh my god.
Goober.
God, good
Or
lord.
as my mom referred to me as her little gooby. We're not going to talk about that.
I am
Continue.
Goober
Look,
number
Grandma
one
used
out
to
of
call us
4.
little shit.
See-
We're not even
Shut up in color.
See-
We're going.
See, I was called Puss Pie.
your name to Little Gooby and everything.
Yes! Yes!
It's actually a little known fact. It is publicly known, so it can be discussed. It is a little known fact that there are silos all over the place, and that there's ordnance shipped around on a semi-regular basis. So
that's fair.
you can have an accident effectively wherever you want, whenever you want. It's fine.
As long as there's the
Not
paperwork
fine,
to cover
though.
it.
Okay, all right,
Exactly.
we're getting
And when you
way
roll a
off
flat
the
8,
topic.
there's the paperwork
And
to
we're
cover
getting
it.
all
And it was in
of
that
the
moment.
FBI watch list.
Listen.
Yeah, I was just about to say, it was that
Look at
moment that HSI took an interest in the stream.
Cats.
We went from 9 viewers to 1,000 viewers because all the FBI is watching.
200 cats and
For-
pissed vampires show up at Daily Tower.
Yes. That is
They
exactly
really don't
what
like you.
And that was the masquerade breach.
No, I don't know nothing about no cats. Gabe called
Hell,
William.
got
He was
in the
like,
car.
we need to shut this shit down. So Gabe and William made for Daily Tower. I don't know nothing about no fucking cats.
The limo wasn't the surprise at Daily Tower. It was what got out of the limo.
Oh, wonderful. That's great. Just a shit ton of cats out of a limo.
An unconscious vampire being carried by a
Wow,
guy. who can't button
we
his
are
shirt.
not discreet at all, are we, guys?
Here's the best part. Here's the best part. Okay, here's the best part. Alexandrov with his open flannel had no shoes on.
Carrying an unconscious
vampire.
Yes, no shoes on, carrying this. Nobody changed her clothes. She's like this.
She was covered in blood still.
Yes. Yep, that happened.
Jesus.
Oops.
Also, Swava, the alcohol is also a tax write-off. Just saying.
An important note was that there was also a bike in there because I wasn't leaving Frank's bike to get blown up. Completely unrelated because we didn't know what was happening next at this point.
Right.
Neither did Storyteller.
So on the way up, during one of the phone calls and text messages that Morgan was doing, one of his mages mentions, there's a lot of paradox from having Frank in this room, and that's complicating this whole strike thing. And then Morgan's like, okay, well, let's chat about that. So as soon as he gets to the tower, he doesn't go up to the penthouse where Gabe and William are. He goes down to the Bat Cave, the secret basement that's not on any of the plans for Daily Tower, and he pulls the director of the mage department over, and they have a chat about whether or not they can get Frank out of there and eliminate that ongoing paradox so that they don't have resources tied up with that when there's things that need glassing.
Yep.
Also,
Proper use of the word.
Let's see if we
Fair
can find some alternatives, because there needs to be some kind of middle ground between fighting to the death with your, feral weapons and, nuking half of the state. It's on the evil overlords list. It really is a problem. And so then Morgan goes in, and so the director says, hey, we're not quite sure that what we have is actually him. And Morgan's like, oh, let me talk to him. By the way, reset the timer on that strike, give it 30 minutes, and if anything tampers with my mind, don't listen to me when I say to reset the timer again. Just do it. And get somebody in here to check and see if my mind's been read or messed with. So then he goes in.
He comes in, and Frank's just like, well, I've been in a white room for what feels like an eternity. Maybe some aggression's in order here. So he pops Clotho's gift, which is now Fata Morgana because, Clan Ravnos. And it's a pale imitation, but it gets the job done. And some idle threats by, the throat of little Daly. Just like, well, why am I not right? What did you do? Do you know how close I was? Got me monologuing again. And then...
Like that.
Not hard.
No, it's not.
It really isn't. It's freaking glorious. And then he's just like, something,
Dark side.
explosive, something, 9/11 levels of disaster, something. Frank says, maybe that's a bad idea.
Or it was a good idea and you just don't realize it yet.
No. I mean, the hunters...
Nuking
I'm pretty sure.
Chicago's not a good idea.
It wasn't Chicago. It was Plainfield.
Doesn't
Which
matter.
is a
Radiation would
suburb
get to the
of
tower.
Chicago.
Suburbs, doesn't matter. Semantics. Continue.
Right? So we have a brief discussion of, not so much the morality of it, but the actuality of it, that, hunters are nothing new. Like, you do the long plays, you don't go for the short games. And Baby Venture realized, maybe there's something to that. And at which point
also like
Frank
to point out
offers
that Amelia had said the same thing over the phone.
Yeah, but it's different when it comes from a man.
Oh!
It's different when you're screaming, too. Or when they're screaming in the background.
Well, it's also different when the person hasn't told you kind of the opposite.
Wasn't even kind of the opposite.
Yeah, kind of.
Discreetly murder is not the opposite.
All right. We're not going to split hairs and y'all go through that sob story again. We're going forward.
We love
So-
you all.
The conversation's
later.
had some idle threats to a mage. Frank shuts the mage up briefly, but Daly sees through it and is like, well, that's not very trustworthy. And Frank's just like, I just wanted to have a moment where the adults could talk.
Son.
Yeah, so, there's mild burn. Frank realizes that, oh, Daly's not getting burned. Brings that up. Well, not impacted him. To which, okay, don't melt my asset, more or less. Is what Daly said.
Effectively.
Yeah.
Like, you be nice to the people who can melt us both. You don't melt my asset. Y'all go, you go back out there and, do your turn your head and cough routine because you're dressed up as a nurse. You sit here and we'll talk.
Yeah,
I mean-
so we conversated briefly a little bit more. A deal was struck for an offer of services for Frank's knowledge, and that'll give. In Frank's mind, he's going to use that to kind of get an idea of which Frank was actually here, because he's not sure if it's the Ravnos or if it was the true Bruja that he really was here. So he's going to be abusing that to no end.
45%
Asking questions of code members and
45% of his brain is the true Bruja, and 67% of his brain is Ravenos.
so that
That's
leads to the
not a-
question
that's
that's
more than
112%.
Yeah,
You
Because-
missed.
because they only got
Oh,
45% of the true Bruja mind. They
Right.
only managed to get 67% of the
Oh, the
Ravenos.
Ravnos.
That's still 112%, Junie.
I see
It's
what she's
fine.
trying to
Hang on.
say.
Yeah,
I
there's
see what she's
overlap.
saying. Yeah,
There's
yeah.
overlap,
No,
which
no.
is the reason why Frank was able to identify that there was an issue to start with.
I'm sure that there were a couple of small gaps that weren't in either part that just came from a frog. It's fine.
Yeah, because
You
frogs
know, I'm gonna
can
come
turn
back as an
around. And
Indominus.
frogs, if there's a will, there's a way, and if he, an amphibious frog can flip both ways.
Jurassic Park to vampire. I have other concerns now.
God. Yay.
But I got Frank back.
Hey, Frank.
A Frank.
Hey, Frank.
And I
Hey,
think he
Frank.
prefers
Some
Edward
of
if we're really
Frank.
talking about it.
A little.
Oh, is this
kind
one
of
gonna
Frank,
prefer
not
Okay,
Frank.
so then he would be E. Frank, not A. Frank.
Enough Frank.
Hey,
that
I'm not Anne Frank, I'm
Olivia's-
Edward Frank, thank you.
He brought enough Frank back for Olivia not to want to kill Morgan.
Yes,
So-
because as you guys made your way up, the idea was, oh, let's use Frank the human meat shield to,
Oh, Frank offered it because he was just like,
Yeah.
they're probably going to have words with you about this whole nuclear strike thing. And, I kind of owe you for bringing me back, so I'll just walk out in front with this once.
So the elevator opens, the door opens, and there's Frank.
I pop all and I'm beautiful. Doesn't work on any of you peckerheads, though, because everybody rolled above a 7.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Mood.
But it did distract Olivia.
Yeah.
And he got a
Yeah.
hug from it.
Got a
Yeah,
hug from it.
Battle Tiger did not, mangle Daly, so mission accomplished.
Yeah. No, Daly and Olivia had a talk about what she'd give to get Frank back, and there was kind of veiled threats involved with, look, if you fuck him up, or it's not him, you will be dead.
Well,
Well,
Apparently he did.
Unfortunately for Morgan.
A little
Apparently-
come me, a little come whatever.
apparently just having a meat suit that looks like me is perfectly fine.
Right?
Yeah, no,
Doesn't matter
listen.
what's up here.
It's
we'll
like
see
Frank.
what happens next session.
It's not really Frank. It's Frank adjacent, right? Like
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah, like-
yes.
It's imitation
Test for
Frank.
Olivia, the test for Olivia was how he handled being handed the keys. That's still
With
Frank.
glee.
Yes, that's still Frank.
He's still all for the underdog, still loves his bike. It's Frank.
But he
Yeah,
actually
nothing
has
changed.
emotions though this time.
Yeah, like I was making jokes, I was
He didn't have to
smiling.
fake it.
that's unfortunate.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, I have the humanity to pull it off too, though. So
Yeah. If you think that's a burn, it's not.
okay, fine. I'll take my aloe vera back.
There you go. So yeah, Morgan walks in, Gabe chains him, and is like, William, will you do the goddamn thing I brought you here to do?
And while you're chaining and you're saying that, he says, "Security!" and starts getting in trouble. And Williams is like, "No, don't do that." And he's like, No, I'm doing it.
Yep.
And then
Yeah.
there was like a sidebar of, like Battle of Wills to an extent of, all right, well, let's just discuss this because clearly we have you where we want you. And then you're like, Gwen, they're about to kill me in my domain. Do something.
And then it turned into screaming match with Amelia
Yeah.
and
Oh yeah, that was
Morgan.
glorious.
a lot of intense things thrown back and forth between Amelia and Morgan, which led
Yeah.
Amelia to storm out.
Yeah.
Important.
In which case Gwen was like, "All right, everybody, like, chill."
Joke's on you guys. This is actually, the Camarilla's domain, so you can fuck yourself.
Pretty
More or
much
less.
what was said.
Lowered expectations.
And that was kind of William's like, "All right, I'm a bounce."
Yeah, well, no, it was the mention of the prince wants to meet Daly.
Yeah.
And at that point, that was his indicator of, well, I don't want to exactly kill the boy because then I'll have to worry about Jackson. And we have resources tied up in other projects right now. Something dark side, something I like the sound of my own voice.
Hence
And
why he likes to
cookies.
monologue.
Yeah.
So William up and outed, and Gabe was like, "Well, this is a fuck fest." Dropped the
did.
chains, up and outed.
He did leave amicably for what that's worth, though. Like, it was just like, good evening, Daly. Have a good one. Like, he was like, it's behind me. I wiped my ass at that situation.
At least you have a clean ass.
And that way I can worry about other shit.
And I believe
Anyways.
Alexandrov took the new Kia Ceed downstairs and out to the
Back
car as
home.
well.
Yeah.
William had gone upstairs because he knows that Amelia likes hanging from the rafters sometimes and thinking, but he also knows that sometimes she just likes running away, and he wasn't sure which Amelia he was getting. if
I
it was
would
Amelia
also
or
like
Charlotte.
to point out that almost every time this season it's been run away. I don't think she's ever just gone up to the roof to sulk. That was Victoria.
Old experience has taught William. You go to the top and you work your way down.
Well, while he was
Brown
working,
chicken, brown cow?
while he was at the top and he hadn't
Brown
thought about
chicken, brown
working
cow.
his way down, Alexandrov had a conversation with Amelia and paid for her Uber.
Right.
Even though she told him that he didn't have to.
And he said he didn't have to do anything he didn't want to, but he wanted to.
Listen, it's okay to let the scruffy hot gangrel guy take care of you, okay? It's fine.
I mean, you're not wrong. And then, go for it.
At which part?
You finally came back down.
William traipses down the stairs, but there is a scene that we missed there between Daly, Gwen, and Olivia and Frank.
Mm-hmm.
Where she was just like, "Can you still do it?" And Frank was like, "Nope, but I could do this," and did the flamboyant green flames.
Butch Gunn was like, "Oh fuck."
Not wrong. Not wrong.
Yeah. I mean, I've been thinking about the physical applications and emotional and mental applications of what he can do with this power now. So
Yep.
I should have been a
Meanwhile, Olivia's
Ravnos the
just
entire
like-
season.
You were thinking about Ravenos.
Was thinking about it off the bat, but we can circle back to that after we get through. So William comes down, sees Alexandrov, and is just like, duh. And they have a conversation. Some things were said. He asked where, Amelia went. He was like, oh, she went home. And he was like, well, I'll deal with that beast later. And then looks over, what was it? Gabe's car, sees a mirror on the ground with his phone, jumps through the mirror with his ring because Gabe gave him a ring. He put a ring on it.
And
Worst mistake of your life.
It's literally a ring pop without the lollipop on
yeah,
it.
Gabe ate the lollipop off of it and then gave the plastic.
No, ate the lollipop off of it, threw up, and then gave him the plastic because.
Well,
he was
okay,
food.
you're right, but you're right, but yes.
Or you just fed it to a human before you nommed on him, so that way you could get the sugar rush.
That's how he got the tears of the innocent. He gave the kid, he saw a kid eating a ring pop, took it, grabbed the innocent tears, took the ring pop, and gave it to William. There you are.
You know, that makes a lot more sense than what I
Canon.
was thinking.
Canon now.
Canon.
Yeah.
It's like taking candy from a baby.
He does, literally.
So I slide through the mirror, slide into Gabe's DMs, land on his tub, thumping his herd upstairs, comes down. Gabriel, where are you? And, we hash through that a little bit. Do you want to take over this next part? Because I don't think I could give it. I could only give it half justice, but.
Yeah, so Gabe was, not happy with the fact that from what he'd perceived, somebody was going to blow up an area and that was just supposed to be okay and nothing was going to happen. So Gabe was like, you know what? This is fucked up. I'm real pissed off. I might do something real stupid. I'm going to leave.
But baby, it's cold outside.
And William was like, no, you're not leaving. Stay here.
Oh, stay for me, if not for
Stay
yourself.
for me.
Stay for me.
Soap opera
And,
episode.
God, it
Donde
was
está la biblioteca?
right. It was real intense.
Oui, baguette.
Oui, oui, baguette.
uh,
An emotional scene was had.
yeah, and then at one point, William goes, "Well, then just stake me, Gabriel."
If you're walking out that door, you're gonna have to stake me first.
And he picks up a stake and puts it to his own chest with Gabriel's hand on it. And Gabe's like, "Nah, chains of binding." So this is where Olivia comes in.
So I give Frank his keys and tell him your bike's downstairs. I didn't want it blowing up.
Frank to himself, she does love me.
And then I go downstairs and I see a phone that I'm trying to call. Like, what are we doing? Where are we going? Because I have information Gabe needs. And I'm like, well, shit. So I put a ring on, drop in there, and I come down the stairs.
Would you mind coming down here and having him unchain me?
So I signed.
I believe there was also a clip with this where
you two
I better not catch
dressed.
you two naked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On my way down the stairs, you two better be dressed.
It's not like that.
And while this is going on, Gabe had dropped the stake, went to go to a drawer to pull out something for another ritual. Knowing that William can compel him, he wants to try to shut that shit down. But William manages to pull it off before Gabe can get what he needs.
Don't do that. Literally is all he said. A bottle gets thrown against a wall.
Gabe gets real angry, throws a bottle against the wall, and that's where Olivia comes downstairs.
To
I think
see.
I said something that pissed off Agrippa. It's like, Agrippa, if he takes off, I'll wind up burning your shit.
Oh, yeah. You said that. I had dropped the chains at this point because I was like, well, I can't.
Yeah,
take
right
them
as you
both.
came down the stairs, the chains were dropped, and
Didn't
he
you
was just
stake
holding his
yourself?
wrist.
We're getting there.
Yes.
Yeah, we're getting there.
We're getting there. So I dropped the change. Olivia said, if he takes off, I'll burn all of your shit, Agrippa. And then William said something.
As the tendrils in the room started getting dark, and he was like, "That's enough of that," and pulls a double crit 15 out of his ass
to try to compel that.
Yeah, I was gonna shut that shit down, but rolled one higher than me with a triple crit.
Yeah. And then Gabe sees the tendrils sort of like caress
Playing
William's
with your
face,
boy.
and Gabe's like, "Oh, I know how to shut this shit down," and stakes himself.
To which, some things happened. Some doors were opened. William whispers, "Agrippa, I want to make a deal."
I'm just like, well, aren't you a special kind of stupid?
Yep, that's exactly what you said yesterday.
You weren't the only one thinking that, Olivia.
Oh, it's okay. We resolved that about
That's
a day
true.
or two later. So
That's in goals.
that's a goal that got completed.
Yes.
Just
I
my-
basically-
Check that off the list.
Yep.
I clarify, look, I can't tell Agrippa from Sybil, I will accidentally burn your shit. I need you to help me. You're stuck to him. And decide that I have other matters to deal with besides this weird little love triangle and go back to deal with the Kiasid.
So yeah, I get unstaked.
Tentacles automatically get included in the love triangle.
It's more like a quadrilateral now, if you really think
yeah,
about it, because
true.
like, or maybe it's a snowflake because you know it has different angles because you got
It's
Josephine,
Gabe,
you got
William, Josephine,
Gabe.
John, Luke, or whatever, Frenchie.
and Jean-Claude.
Frenchie.
Okay, Jean-Claude's just sitting there with his popcorn, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, he's just like
He's
"Oh,
a
I like this
voyeur."
shit. It's so entertaining. It's so much better than this American dress you have on television.
Right?
I was sitting there going, Agrippa, I get company now.
So, yeah, Olivia leaves.
Yeah, the plaything
I think wasn't Amelia called over at some point too?
Yeah, it was like,
Amelia
oh,
was
give Amelia.
By 30 years in the future, Gwen.
That's right, because
Our
years...
timelines are all fucked. at this
So
point.
30 years in the future, Gwen had actually stopped by before William got there, and kind of picking up on Gabe's emotional state was like, promise me you'll see me in 30 years. And Gabe was like, I guess, if I have to, if that's the only way to get you to leave, sure.
Jill will hold you to that.
Oh, I know. I'll pay for that later.
And then 30 year in the future
years.
Gwen shows up at Amelia's house, starts a bath before she's home. Amelia gets there and goes, hey, so you know how I said it was 30 years since I'd seen Gabe? We're coming up on that 30-year mark, the beginning of the 30 years. It's like, motherfucker.
You might want to go and talk to him.
A nice bath was made with temporis, you know,
That didn't
keeping
get
it.
to be taken. till,
Oh, I'm
like,
sorry.
No,
later.
by the time when she gets back to her home, she'll notice that it will still look the same, and the moment that she walks through the door, time will have picked up again, and she'll still sit in that hot bath.
I never said I actually took the bath.
Well, no, if she does, if she
Or you
walks
just
through
keep it
that
in the pipe
door,
for like a week later.
No, I was gonna actually let it all run down the drain because I was pissed off again.
the moment that she walks through, it's the relaxing smell, and when she puts her hand in the water, it's like super, super hot, just like she likes it.
She's gonna put her hand in the water to take the drain out.
That's
Aw.
fine, but at least it was done to her liking.
Yeah, I still remember what you said when you walked in your domain though, and you were just like, Josephine. Like that was adorable. It was
I mean,
wrong.
Who the fuck else would run a bath like that?
Somebody else
She
that
wasn't
knows you.
expecting Gwen to do it.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's fair.
Though when Amelia came in and then the mage arrived,
Oh yeah, there was a scene there with Daly about that project.
before that. Go ahead, sorry.
Yeah.
Right, so while after everybody else goes, Daly takes a couple minutes to cool down, then goes back down to the Batcave, and goes to the mage director and is like, hey, so let's talk about these strikes. Let's try to find something less extreme to do. And also, by the way, I've been asking for like 3 weeks now for like somebody with some talent for curses and diseases to reach out to Dr. Gabriel, and where are we on that? And then the director's like, oh, well, now that we've got these resources freed up because we no longer have a room in another dimension that's anchored here that we have to maintain, I could send somebody tonight. And then Morgan's like, yeah, do that and keep me posted. Thanks. And
Yep, somebody shows up at their door,
Yep.
claims to be, a affiliate of Dr. Mackey, aka Rachel, and yeah.
Yeah, and at this point, Gabe's like, I have no willpower, and I'm very hungry, so you can only imagine the amount of stress I'm under right now.
Mage is like, well, don't eat me, eat this. Makes a call. Clever redirection of Human.
But before she does it, she gives both Amelia and William.
Okay, so forget-me-nots.
Yeah, to which, he's like, oh, I guess it will be okay. And just completely writes off everything that's happened the last couple of weeks. It's just complete bullshit.
I mean, and thing is, Gwen told Amelia that she was okay, and Amelia's still like, I really want to break this promise of going to fucking find her because. And I'm gonna go ahead and say it: the bouquet of forget-me-nots did not help with the staying put.
Oh no, that's fair. And if Amelia does go down to find her, she will see her completely okay, doing things like as if she was there naturally. No worries. And she's completely okay, healthy, fine, and she'll see she's with Ruby again.
In a long ass time. But we'll get to that.
Good times.
Yeah. And then wasn't there a little bit more that happened, or am I just projecting it?
I think it was probably that was about end.
That was about it.
Yeah, that's about where we ended that.
Yep.
Okay.
She did a freeze frame for time.
Oh yeah, because what was the closing scene where it got freezed?
So Gwen came to Morgan and had Morgan round up Frank and get prettied up and go to see the prince. So Morgan's dead. I'm rolling a new character.
Oh, not at all, because I remember Frank had mentioned, just make sure you introduce me as your Malwa, so that way I can actually speak on your behalf and navigate you out of that situation.
So Morgan and Frank are... No, I'm kidding.
That takes care of like 3 goals for me this week. That's
Frank's just going to make it look like we died. Like, escape artist is now in his toolkit.
Right.
Fair enough.
So, I think that's kind of where we ended off. I'll be curious to see how that plays out.
Do we want to open with that next week, Junie?
I don't know. That's what I'm debating. Find out next episode where I start at.
Yeah. I love it. I know that most of my goals for this week are already pretty much done. I think I only have like 1 or 2 more things I need to tick off the box. So
I know Amelia got texted by Gabe that Tuesday night about Candy Crush and how pissed off Gabe was about not getting candy because he spent like $400 on Candy Crush.
$400 on this fucking game and my candy still hasn't arrived. It's just terrible.
So, Junie, I do have a question for William's knowledge, and this is actually an important fact that would come up in his goals with Gabe. Has he heard of the Path of Enlightenment?
I would say, oh shit. Give me an intelligence and occult roll.
I have my phone on me. I guess I'm gonna have to use the die.
Oh my god.
It's almost as if I sent you die for this purpose.
Yeah.
That I put so much time into.
I thought they were supposed to look pretty.
No, I'm guilting him into fucking using the die I sent him to use.
I got my phone right here. Never mind, we're good.
Oh my god.
No, I'm only saving those for the last roll of the season. Like the first roll and the last roll. That's how I'm using them. They are
gonna stake you again.
I mean, I could do it from here.
You said it was what, Junie? Enton
Occult.
Don't forget the Blood Surge.
Oh yeah. Count on that. Because Old Man Keebler gets quite a few extra die with that. Alright, so he's Hunger too. Fortunately, willpower reset. Gonna go ahead and burn that willpower. Crit 10.
Yeah, he knows it.
That would be something he brings up with Gabe.
Awesome.
Like, you want to get closer to humanity and try to fix your own disease? That's how you do it.
I mean, that's fair.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'll go with that.
Let's see. For the things that I haven't yet taken care of, Olivia, I know Gabe had sent you a text message checking in to see how you were doing.
Yeah, I need to get into the goals and things, but yeah, I got the text.
Okay. Gabe would also probably probe a little bit and get your thoughts on seeing Frank again.
Okay. Yeah. She'd have to think about that for a little bit because she's got other things she's
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Kia Sid. Oh my god.
And, Kiasid proofing your home is not going to go well because all the surfaces are going to be like a gloss coat over top of them. So that way we can just wipe off the runes that they use to disorient people.
Yep.
They already are. I've been having pixies I've had fairy in my house for months at this point.
Oh, okay. Then, yeah, I don't have to do jack other than make sure that Baby Vamp doesn't try to mesmerize the hell out of people.
I mean, she can mesmerize a couple cats, but she won't have to. She's got animalism.
Yeah, about that. So we're going to make sure that she doesn't get close to any people for the first year of her embrace.
Yeah, that worked well, didn't it?
Well, no, we're putting her in a baby cage with bars downstairs for a little while. We'll let her out as needed.
That's not going to work.
No.
I mean, that's going to be the what Frank's recommending. Like, it's kind of extreme, but...
I think Frank's going to wind up with a polar bear sitting on his chest.
I'll make another polar bear appear to have, a battle of the birds. Like,
it would keep her busy.
No, that'll probably be what he does. Is testing his abilities to entertain Baby Vamp and keep it distracted for a while.
That'll work.
Also asking questions of like, oh, well, in this timeline, like, is my sire alive or is he dead? Because I was working with him over here, but I feel like he was dead over here. And like, there's going to be a whole slew of different questions that he'll be corresponding with you about trying to...
Wait,
he dead?
You mean that guy Abel ate?
Killed in our universe.
He ate his heart.
Yeah.
So 8, yes.
Yeah. But Ravnos doesn't know that. And that's where the thing is, because like Ravnos Frank worked with his sire.
That would be the answer you got back. Was you mean the guy that Abel ate?
Okay, that explains a lot.
Your sire got killed. It was magnificent. He went out in a blaze of glory. You would be proud.
You were there?
You don't know anything, do you?
No.
Exactly.
Gangrel at Brouhaha's does ship.
Of course it does. How do you think I stay in peak physical condition?
Pushing down the trees in my backyard?
Vicissitude?
No.
Because once you've turned, you can't really improve.
You can always improve and get faster and hit harder.
I thought you were referring to your physical form, not your...
Of course! Do you see me looking like I've got dead bod?
That goes back into literally what I was just saying. I am not falling into that rabbit hole.
I'm not
Let's move
touching
on.
that. Nope.
Give Gabe this. He is drooling.
I'm nope.
Oh, hello, Viking Daddy.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's just get that out of the system right now. Could have done that at the beginning.
Nope.
Anyway.
Yeah, moving right the frack along. I mean, it's either a cop kink or a Viking kink. It doesn't matter.
I have Viking kinks in the other arm.
Volcano Los Dos.
I was Russian. I was not Viking. There's a difference.
Close enough.
Whatever.
If he's chiseled like Thor, he's Thor. Like, I don't care what you say.
No. The Vikings were
Anyways.
marshmallows.
What else we got?
I think that was it.
All right. Do we want to move on to... I guess we've touched on goals a little bit. Does Morgan have any? Or Amelia have any?
Yeah, so Morgan would have had kind of a chat with Gabe to kind of clear the air a bit. He would be getting with the mages to... and also the alchemists who work with them to try and set the groundwork for distributing a cure once it's ready. He'd also actually be contacting his jeweler and asking for something, preferably inexpensive and durable for a pocket watch to send to William, along with just a brief note saying, hey, sorry for the inconvenience and the miscommunication. Just trying to look out for all of us.
See, that's actually on William's list of things to do, is to actually stop by Daily Tower and just, sit there for a meeting with you to clear the air about the confusion and to ways to alleviate it in the future if you want to continue operating in Joliet.
Right. Well, and yeah, it basically Yeah, and that's something we can role play out either here or in a PM or whatever. That's fine.
Okay. Because William doesn't do digital whenever it comes to vampire business. Like, there's no paper trail, verbal or written, and written gets burned.
Right. It was going to be written.
So what did you do with that iPod I handed you? iPad.
I mean, it's a great paperweight.
Okay.
It is literally a rock inside.
Gabe probably has it.
Gabe probably snagged it. It was just like, oh, this is kind of interesting.
Gabe was like,
that's
ooh,
not
now
so
I can play
interesting."
Candy Crush on a bigger screen.
Gabe had up until Gabe finds that you could play chess on it, and then William and Gabe share it to play chess.
Oh, God. That would be the only time that William buys another iPad. Like, just so that way he could play it digitally against him.
Yeah.
Get a
But
text.
it's not the same when I can't look at your face.
Get a text halfway through the session. It's your move. Don't have to think that long about it.
Gabe's like, ... sorry, got distracted by a Viking man.
Russian! I'm Russian.
Oh, Orange Jesus, take the wheel. This is what we've come to. A full fucking circle from being semi-professional to just being straight in the dumpsters.
And the best part is once Alexandrov sees that, he will just pick up Gabe, put him in the car, drive him to Williams, pick him back up, walk him into Williams' office, sit him down and go, please, do something. The man doesn't stop staring. It's a little annoying. Thank you.
Hell, Gabriel, stop staring at the nicely chiseled man. Impolite.
And then he'll just turn around and leave.
And they'll both stare at his butt on the way out.
That's Russia's ass.
You're not wrong, because he will make sure he wears that kind of bootlegged jeans, but it's tight in his ass. Yeah.
That's totally 20 years ago. You could tell.
That's fine.
Oh,
He
God.
still looks good in it.
God. Next thing you know, he's going to ask us to go to the disco just to get it out of our system.
No. Roller skating.
I was close.
Ooh, I'd go.
All right, but if you do
I mean,
that,
but
you
roller
gotta
skating
wear
is great.
the 70s.
Look, if we're going to the discotheque, totally picking up some sprinkles. Just saying.
You know,
Yeah.
When do you not have sprinkles?
Never.
This is truth.
I mean, only as needed
Which is all
when
the
he
time.
prescribes them to himself.
I have a written prescription, all right?
From a doctor.
I don't have a problem. You have a problem.
Goblin!
That's gonna be Gabe's downfall. He's gonna get arrested for prescription fraud.
Oh, well, don't worry. I am a complete and utter doctor. Sure, see? Here's my thing. And it's all done in crayon.
Yeah, that would be the one that gets picked up by the FTC.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, so let's touch on, you know, I don't know. Like, we've covered goals. We've covered what happened. Like, how does everybody feel about yesterday now that we've had a little bit of time to kind of step away from it a little bit? And, like,
Now that we've done like the 6 "Are you okay?" checks.
yeah, like,
You
let's
know,
do one 24 hours later. Like, is everybody good? Is everything copacetic? Like,
Who's ready for next Saturday?
My God, nobody.
that's a throbbing hard
Look.
no from Vlad the Impaler.
If y'all think this is chaos, just wait until Dorks and Dungeons.
God.
Where I actually get to learn how to play D&D. Why do I have to do this for?
Wait, when are you broadcasting this? Because that I want to watch.
We don't know yet. We have our first recording session this week.
Okay.
Should be an interesting time.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll be doing a email about that, right? Via Twitch.
Who's
to
the
subs.
internet?
Nerdy.
Oh yeah, I definitely want to watch that.
It'll be
Yeah.
Nerdy DMing me, Junie, and
Erebus.
Erebus as
We're
players.
gonna have Erebus on camera.
Yep.
Oh my god, he's gonna wear a shirt and pants. You gotta
He
watch
has
for that.
to.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then eventually we're going to be
We already
having...
printed camera covers. Don't worry.
Bork is here. Bork is there.
Bork is
Yeah.
everywhere. And
well,
then
we both have at-hand mute buttons, so we're good.
And then we
Excellent.
also are doing Mutants and Masterminds, and we have 2 teams on that one.
And you guys
Yeah.
are alternating 1 week villains, 1 week heroes, right?
Yep.
First week was villains, if I remember right.
Right, and so we're trying a kind of a new format where DM kind of facilitates the storytelling, but the storytellers are the players on the villain team, right? So it's up to them. They are the big bad evil guy. They've got to come up with the plot. They've got to figure out, what strategy they're doing, what they're doing to counter the heroes. It's essentially going to be like drawn out turn-based PvP, and the villains go first. Villains get a session, heroes get a session. Villains get a session, heroes get a session. And they could do goals and such, but it's primarily going to be, okay, what do you as the villain want to do?
Chaos.
Laser
Utter
face.
and complete chaos.
Nerdy
Just
help.
give me chaos.
Nerdy help.
You're DMing our children?
No, I am your children in 1 player.
What are you helping with?
Help heroes.
Oh, Junie, you can
Yeah,
cover
no.
maybe 1
Me-
kid, okay?
Me and Sai are on the hero
Oh.
Yeah. We're
So
in
what's your-
danger.
Do
team. We're in danger.
you have your characters lined up? Do you
Yeah,
want to
sure.
share
Yeah,
the teaser of
yeah.
that puppy?
Mhm.
Maybe a name?
Mine's good. I don't know if I've actually.
Yeah,
named
I
the
can
character yet.
do a little bit. So my hero's name is Aberration. And she's kind of like a ghost lady. Does ghosty things.
A ghost hero?
Tries to make Yeah, ghost hero.
So are we talking like positive poltergeist hauntings?
Just sort of more like, try to scare people into doing the right thing and maybe
It's like,
Not
I
if
can
they
devour your soul, or you can turn yourself into the police for that murder. Your choice.
Wait,
I'm good either way.
Wait. Okay, so did me and Sai both go the vigilante route for the heroes?
Oh god.
Because I'm basically Raven from Teen Titans. But if Raven was a vigilante.
Oh god.
And
Okay. The train wreck is vampire is nothing.
I'm
Do you hear
play-
that? It sounds like you guys need a real hero.
So I'm actually playing a villain, and her name is Lady Cass.
Oh, Ingvar.
And
Does she do snakes on a plane and stuff?
no, let's just say she was created by a hero's mistake.
Got it. So the heroes pull out game this week. Good to
Yeah.
know.
Well, let's just say the heroes created the villain.
Isn't that normally how it works, though?
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Kinda. She was never evil until this one event in her life. And she went, why? Why do they get to do all this and not suffer the consequences? I will become the consequence.
Oh, an anti-hero.
I like it.
It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting.
Yeah.
And of course, I've told you all about Laserface.
Laser pointer.
Okay.
Battle kitty.
So it's D-Written and Tanari, but D-Written is pretty much role playing the entire thing.
Huh?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Pretty much. Put them
Gotcha.
together. Yeah.
I have other concerns now.
You married him. That's on you.
So as a brief
jealous.
reminder, next week will be the finale.
Yep.
Yes.
Yes, it will.
Maybe, maybe not.
Finale for season 2.
Uh-huh.
We like to
It
think it'll
needs-
be the end, but it might just be the beginning.
Finale for season
I can't believe we're finishing up season 2. We've done 60 some odd episodes of Vampire so
Yep.
far. I can't believe
Yeah.
that.
It's only been that many.
Yeah.
I thought we were at least at 200.
No.
No.
But at the same time, it's been like 2.5,
Just
3
because
years.
it hurts that much.
You're
It
not
hurts so
wrong. You're so not wrong.
I'll be very sad to say goodbye to Gabe, but I'm really looking forward to next season.
Who said it was a goodbye?
Okay, a temporary adieu.
There you go. There we go. Jean-Claude's been rubbing off on you.
Yeah, yes.
Or rubbing on you. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
yes.
Kind of like a horny cat. You never can tell with the guy.
Oh, absolutely. We
be
baguettes.
All right. Any other last comments, thoughts, player or character? Anything else we want to touch upon before we sulk away into the darkness?
Before I start throwing out all of our links.
I mean, that too. I mean, if you guys just want to dive straight into it, you can check out our social media. You can check out, Nerdy's Etsy, get some sweet dice. You can check out our merch. You can check out our other friends and family, on twitch.tv. You can catch our chronicles on YouTube or via VODs on Twitch for a little while until they go.
YouTube is the most reliable place to get our stuff.
Yeah.
Love you too, Mama.
You can check out all of our personal Twitches. Many of us stream, some of us not so much. I know DeRitten does a stock stream during the week that's, made me about $300 just by following his tutelage.
Awesome.
Not to toot his horn, but the man's got mad tips, And then you got Sai that does a D&D through a D&D roll call, and they do that, if I recall, every Friday. And you guys have something else as well, right? Or is it?
Yeah, we kind of do some random streams every so often. We're probably going to be doing this week, maybe Tuesday or Thursday. Throw something out about it if we do.
Sai's DM streams are excellent. We can bully her into doing just about anything that's funny.
So while I have this platform, this week's DM stream is going to be creating broken, asinine, insane homebrew magic items.
Oh, I can help with that.
Oh yeah.
We may have been talking about it last night.
I thought that some people might be interested in helping me create some real nightmare shit. So
I mean, we come up with the names, you come up with the stats, or we come up with the stats, you come up with the names.
Hey, you know what, man?
Yes.
I'm willing to roll it either way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Have I told you about my Lich MLM?
Oh my god.
And on that note, we also have Tanari that does crafting streams. We have Junie that does crafting streams and other miscellaneous projects. And we have Nerdy that does, if I recall, I've seen you a lot on Minecraft recently.
Look, I'm on a...
You're on a binge. I get it. You're addicted.
Tuesday, I'm going to go ahead and announce this here. There's going to be a dual stream between me and C Sharp Fritz involving Magic the Gathering cards.
Ooh.
Unboxing.
We're finally getting him to start unboxing his collection.
Ooh.
I'll check that out. I like to drool over flip flap cards.
He sent me some cards to open too. I got a 3-pack of the Commander Legends.
Nice.
That's gonna be great.
Oh, that will be superly awesome.
So that's coming to my channel and his on Tuesday.
Nice.
Cool.
So I remember my first booster box. It was a Rakdos, a Dissension box.
Rakdos. Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, like that was where it started for me. Like I had a deck that had, like 5th edition and 4th edition cards in it that I bought off somebody that was just like, okay, it's a basic dragon, basic red, black. Like, okay. Yeah. But then I got Rakdos and I was like, oh baby, that's the stuff. Hellbent. But we're getting off topic there. Check out our different links, check out our media. Catch you guys next week on Saturday, 2 p.m. Eastern. We're not starting early, yes? Are we doing on time?
No, we'll just do on time.
All right.
Too hard or too
Love your
sharp.
faces.
Catch you guys later.
See you guys. Bye.